You know, I sit around sometimes and marvel at the generosity that some people display. I wonder to myself how they can still manage to be so generous with their life and their thoughts and their time in this fucked up world that we live in. And every time I see that generosity, every time I witness it, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful beyond measure, beyond compare. And I appreciate the hell out of people that have managed to retain nuggets of their humanity, stay decent people in spite of everything that's pushing them to be greedy, materialistic fucking shunts. I appreciate the hell out of that, I really do. And in the upcoming video, I'm going to tell you why I appreciate that.
You're watching Hammerhand, the MGTOW Monk.
What's good out there, gentlemen? I figured I would just jump on here and make a nice little friendly one today and let everybody know for a while now, a few months, I've been getting donations like 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever it was. And everything is appreciated. Everything. $1, 50 cents, a compliment, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. It's all appreciated. I have appreciation for what's going on in the world today. I very rarely get irritated about things. I just kind of sit back and watch, you know, try to protect myself where I can and when I can. But I wanted to give you men an update on where your donations went. Excuse me. I go to a convenience store right around the way here. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. I'm sorry about that. But we all know that there are people out there that hunt people like me to try to cause harm to them. So I'm going to save myself that issue, and I'm going to save you that issue, whoever you may be. I go in there and I get my morning water, whatever it is that I happen to pick up, a couple of breakfast burritos that satiate my appetite throughout the day. And there's always this kid. He's a kid, probably 20, 23, somewhere around there. You tell he's not had the best life. And for the last couple of months, he's been saying, well, 3 months, roughly 3 months. He's been saying, yo, man, I got my eye on this truck, man. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And I always kept telling him, I says, well, when you get it, let me know, holler. I want to see it, you know, because he's coming in, he's working extra shifts, you know, putting up with motherfuckers from behind the counter. It's a suck-ass job. It's a suck-ass job. You could be the nicest motherfucker in the world, and all you're going to get all day long, with very few exceptions, are a bunch of grunts, not the army grunts, a bunch of nastiness, a bunch of fucking mean mugging, give me this, give me that, motherfuckers throwing the goddamn change on the counter, giving you attitude. It's one of the worst jobs. You know, and I'm not talking about hard. I'm talking about just fucking with your head all day. Because you're in the position where you can't tell them to get the fuck out. I mean, you could, but you're only going to do it once in these corporate positions. So he finally comes up with it, man. 1993 red Jeep, pre-OBD, for my mechanics out there. And having a couple of issues getting it running, but he finally got it running. I come in there a few days ago, and he says, hey, man, I got my Jeep. Hey, man, he got this radiant fucking smile. You know, the guy's never had transportation before. So you all know, just like I know, that when you get wheels, it doesn't matter if it's a bucket or anything above a bucket. If you get wheels, when you get wheels, your options in life expand, exponentially. They just explode. They explode. Your time condenses. It's very strange, but I loved that feeling. I remember my first set of wheels, brand new, right off the showroom floor. And I busted my fucking ass to get it. But that's another story. So I said, yeah, God, that's pretty cool, man. He says, yeah, we got a hole in the floorboard because it sat for a while. It's been sitting for a year while I've been saving up to get it. And I'm like, oh, but you got it here. And he's like, yeah, we got it here. It runs, man. It starts, it runs. I said, well, what's the biggest issues on it? And he goes, well, right now I have no tires and no brakes, pretty much. They're shot. So I got to immediately start saving for that. And I said, So I'm sitting there with my little breakfast burrito and my drink. And I said, yeah, cool. That's cool, man. Thanks. So he takes the next person in line. I walked around to the ATM and I withdrew your contributions. I took $400 and I walked back around. I pulled it out of my wallet and I sit there and here's your tire fund. This is from me and the boys. And he's like, no. I says, no, it's not an option. Take it. I work right over there across the street at that shop. If you need anything, come over and see us and we'll take care of you. Spend it wisely. Of course he was gobsmacked. Who walks up and hands somebody $400 fucking dollars that you don't know? I have been sitting on that cash waiting for an opportunity to help somebody that was helping themselves. And I couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to help that kid. Some of my money was in there too. But that's where your contributions go. When I find somebody homeless and it doesn't look like they've had anything to eat or drink for a while, I run them inside. I buy them a bunch of fucking food, as much as they can carry, and some drinks, and then we're good. And it's not some savior deal. I just understand, folks. I don't often talk about my life coming up. I did a series on it years and years ago, but I don't often talk about my life coming up. It was rough. I know what it's like to be sitting in the middle of the fucking road with no food, no water, no money, no transportation other than the bicycle that I was riding at 15. Homeless. Again. So I appreciate the things that I have. I know how to hold on to $1. I know how to make that shit count. It's not a contest to see who has been done the dirtiest out here. I know it's not. I often get people that will run up on me and say, well, man, when I was 10, somebody cut my hands off and then sewed them back when I was 11. I said, that's fucking horrific. You had it worse than I did. But not by much. My brother and I went through hell. He still ain't right. And I gotta say, I'm working on it. That's the best that I can do. That's the best update that I could ever give any day of the week, is that I'm working on it. But I wanted to come on here and tell you, men, I absolutely love and adore what y'all do. I know how difficult it is to reach into your wallet, pull out $10 or $20, and hand it to somebody else when you need that $10 or that $20. I know what that means. I know what it's like to be in that position. It's not good to be in that position. But the fact that you're compelled to do it says something else entirely. It says a lot about me. It does. And it says a lot about you. That's why I always give thanks to you men when somebody comes around and it's time for me to pull that money and help them out, make their week better, make their month better, take some stress off their fucking shoulders. I am happy to do that for you. I'm happy to hand that stuff to them for you. That is all I ever wanted to do. That's it. Every once in a while, I'll buy myself a drink or a burger or something. You know what I'm saying? You know that, just like I know that. I'm not going to lie to you. But I appreciate the shit out of y'all. That kid has come back into that shop 4 times to get a square deal. You see? He's kind of known as my buddy, right? I don't know the man, and I don't want to pretend that I know the man. But when he comes in, we give him an employee discount, my employee discount, to get him in the door. So I paid for his tire. Well, we paid for his tires. And then he came back in and paid for the brakes and a diagnostic by himself. It inspired him to do better. It inspired him to take a look at that thing and move and make sure that there's nothing terminal with that vehicle. Got himself a nice little oil change. We cleaned up all of the oil that was coming off of the rocker cover. He came in and replaced the rocker cover valve, the valve cover gasket. Good kid. Good kid. So thank you. I've rambled on long enough. But this is our little feel-good story. Because generosity is not known in denominations. Generosity is just that, it's generosity. You know, $1 fucking dollar. $1 from every sub changes lives. Changes lives. I don't hand it to some organization that's going to give 10 cents of every dollar to the people that it was meant to go to and then fucking keep everything else. Fuck that. I find these people that need shit and I give it to them. They can make the decision. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. That's a heartfelt thank you from me to you. Because that kid needed that shit. I'll catch you on the next one.
What did it cost?
Everything.